Kyle Tucker, who covers Kentucky basketball for The Athletic, now joins us. Kyle, appreciate your time this morning. I want to start with the status of both Sahvir Wheeler and Ty Washington. I've listened to Cal a little bit this week. He doesn't seem too confident in their status, not just against when they obviously didn't play LSU, but heading into tomorrow's matchup. What's your gut tell you about them being able or not able to play against the Razorbacks?
I'm going to give you a terrible answer because it'll sound like I'm like Cal trying to be coy, but partially because he's been so coy. I really don't know. I don't think either of them has a serious injury. I do think that what Cal is weighing right now is the value of any regular season win, even this one, over having his team totally healthy when the tournament starts. And that, I think that also should probably tell you something about what he thinks about this team, like how good is this team. I think he truly believes he's got a team that can win the thing for the first time in a little while. And he also thinks that the one thing that could ruin it is not being healthy. And Ty and Sahvir, for different reasons, have been banged up all throughout the year. The first two SEC road games they lost at LSU and at Auburn, both those guys went down in reverse order. Wheeler went down and missed basically the whole game at LSU, and then Washington late, and then at Auburn, Washington went down and missed almost the whole game, and Wheeler went down late, and then he limped off. Washington limped off in the loss at Tennessee as well. And so, when they're whole, they're pretty much unbeatable. When they're not, you can certainly challenge them, and some teams have actually pulled it off. So I think Cal is weighing, even if they could go, do I let them go, or do I just take whatever lumps I take now because I think I got a team good enough to win it regardless of NCAA tournament seed. So my gut is that they could both play if they needed to and had to. And then I don't know if they actually will because of what I just told you.
Kyle, I wonder if you got a chance to go to Allen Fieldhouse a couple weeks ago. I got a chance to go a couple years ago. Great atmosphere. One of the things I'm going to ask Cal later on today is what's the tougher atmosphere as a visiting opponent? I know you had some positive things to say about Bud Walton Arena earlier this year. Can you compare and contrast what it's like to play a game as a visitor in Allen Fieldhouse compared to Bud Walton Arena?
Yeah, I make Kentucky fans mad sometimes. Rupp Arena at its very best is incredible, and the last few games has made some explosive sound as they've come back from, they came back from double-digit deficits to beat Alabama and LSU in back-to-back games without Wheeler and Washington, and that place was nuts. At its best, Rupp is great. I think Arkansas, Bud Walton Arena, as long as Arkansas is even kind of good, and especially when they're really good, on a game-to-game basis, it is the best atmosphere in the SEC. Auburn's really got a nice small arena that has emerged as one of the better, but it's a small arena. Bud Walton is one of the big, crazy madhouse arenas. I think it's one of the 5 best road or hardest road environments in the country, and I think it's the best in the SEC. The difference with Allen Fieldhouse, and yes, I was there for that game, which was stunning. That put everybody on notice about Kentucky. Nobody blows out Kansas at Kansas. I was there for that. I was there when Kentucky went there 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe it's longer than that now. 4 or 5 years ago, and they went to overtime. And it's an electric environment. I would say the difference is, I don't think there's a lot of difference in noise level or intensity. The difference is in Allen Fieldhouse. That place is like a living museum. It really just feels so historic. You feel like you're in the cradle of college basketball there. That to me is the only difference. There's a deep tradition in that building that I don't think you can match anywhere else. Not that Arkansas doesn't have tradition. It's just the history of Naismith and all of those, Fog Allen, and then what Bill Self has done there. You see the old banners, the old sign, "Beware the Fog." The Rock Chalk Jayhawk is really kind of eerie and spooky, but a cool tradition. I would say that's the only difference. But in terms of how hard is it to play there, I would put Arkansas on par with Allen Fieldhouse.
Cal, you're from Kentucky, and handicapping things is just part of what y'all do up there. So handicap this matchup for me tomorrow. Oscar Tshiebwe and Jalen Williams. Tshiebwe, 16.5 points a game. Jalen Williams, just over 10 points a game, but that doesn't tell the whole story with Williams and his defense. Tell us about this matchup and your thoughts on that tomorrow, because I think it's a critical part of the outcome of the game.
Well, I think the one note, and Jerry Tipton, the longtime veteran Kentucky beat writer, has been sort of asking questions about this for a week now in preparation of this game about Jalen Williams taking charges, how good he is at taking charges. That's a really interesting piece of this matchup. I think just straight up, Oscar is going to win that battle. He's won every battle. He's a consistent double-double guy, 10 straight double-doubles, 22 or 23 on the season, leads the nation in rebounding. He's going to get the best of most people as long as he stays out of foul trouble, and he has struggled some with length, to score over length. He's always going to get his rebounds. But if you can get him in foul trouble, and surprisingly, that's the thing they worried about. Not a lot of people have. But the fact that Jalen Williams is so good at drawing charges that Arkansas can get some whistles, I think is concerning for Kentucky because there's obviously a huge drop-off after Oscar Tshiebwe. If he goes to the bench, they're a deep team, but probably their one thinnest area is in the post. And so, I think that's where they worry about it.
You've kind of referenced to Cal maybe positioning this team exclusively for the tournament and beyond the SEC tournament, the NCAA tournament, but Arkansas's played their way to number 23 in the net rankings. This would be a high-quality road win for Kentucky. Is there any thought? Right now, Kentucky's kind of squared in on that 2 line on the bracket. Any thought about winning this game and making a little run and getting to the number 1 line, or do you think that matters at all to Kentucky at this point?
Cal is very aware. He talks all the time. It does matter. He complains all the time about their seeding because it does typically matter. You want the smoothest path you can get. When you got a team good enough to win it all, you don't want to make it any harder on yourself than you have to. But I would say, again, kind of what I said earlier, I think he is really confident that this team is a title contending team as long as they get to March healthy. And so I think he's less concerned about seeding with this group than he is get there intact. A 1 or a 2 is not a huge difference. I think they'd really have to bomb out at this point to not be a 2 seed. But yeah, if they can find a way, if they are healthy enough to have those guys go and play at Arkansas and try to get that win, yeah, I think if they win at Arkansas, and get to the SEC even championship game, because historically we know now, because the SEC is stubborn and won't take its title game off a Sunday where it doesn't matter to the selection committee. If you just get to the title game, I think with a win over Arkansas and get to the SEC championship game, you got a really strong case, I think, if you're Kentucky to be that 1 seed.
Kyle, we're at the break. We really appreciate you joining us this morning, and hopefully we've got a good one tomorrow in Bud Walton Arena.
Appreciate you.
All right, good stuff from Kyle Tucker.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds. Right to the Olympic coverage is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.